Dear students, in the previous lecture I have discussed about project management. In that I have discussed about the comparison between functional manager and project manager, also discussed about some special demands on project manager. In this lecture we are going to discuss about attributes of effective project managers. Remember, the last class we are discussing about project manager. In this lecture we are going to discuss about attributes of effective project manager. This is the course outline which I have discussed already. So, the agenda for this lecture is, what are the attributes of effective project manager? There I am going to discuss about credibility, sensitivity, leadership, ethics and management styles, and stress management. A project manager, how he should handle the stress. Now, we will discuss about attributes of effective project managers. Most popular attributes, skills and qualities of selecting project manager is, he should have a strong technical background, should have a strong uncompromising manager, he should be mature and should be currently available. Other qualities are having good terms with the senior executives, someone who can keep the project team happy, worked in several departments and can walk on the waters. Whenever there is a difficult situation, he can handle that. These are some of the qualities before selecting a project manager. I will discuss about other attributes: credibility, sensitivity, leadership, ethics and management style, and ability to handle stress and drive to complete the task. So, the first attributes for a project manager is credibility. First, we will discuss about technical credibility. So, possessing sufficient technical knowledge to direct the project is very important credibility, and a project manager should have a basic understanding of the technologies on which the project is managing, and you have to explain the project technology to senior management, and a project manager should be able to interpret the technical needs and wants of the client or the senior management to the project team. The next credibility for a project manager is administrative credibility. One of the administrative responsibilities is to the client and senior management. What they have to do, the project manager needs to do, he has to keep the project on schedule and within the cost to monitor the reports. Another responsibility is to the project team itself. So, to make sure that the materials, equipments and labors are available when and where needed. The next responsibility is to represent the interest of all stakeholders like team, management, functional departments, community and client to one another. So, he has to represent all the stakeholders, and the project manager is genuinely a person in the middle. Finally, the project manager is responsible for making the tough trade-off decisions for the project and must be perceived as a person who has the mature judgment and courage to do so consistently. The next attribute is sensitivity. We discuss about political sensitivity. Political sensitivity attribute is essential for project managers. Projects are multidimensional and are inherently affected by the politics. The key is to be aware of politics, to work with them, but not be the part of them. A competent leader continuously balances 5 project currencies like time, money, knowledge, security and prestige. The next attribute is interpersonal sensitivity. Project manager needs to sense interpersonal conflict on the project team or between team members and the outsiders. Successful project managers are not conflict avoiders. Generally, they sense the conflict early, then confront and deal with it before it escalates into interdepartmental and intra-department warfare. The project manager must persuade people to cooperate irrespective of personal feelings, keep aside personal likes and dislikes, and to focus on achieving project goals. Next, we discuss about technical sensitivity. It is common for otherwise competent and honest team members to try to hide their failures. So, team members with this orientation may not be able to tolerate their failures, though they are rarely as intolerant of failures in others, and may hide failures rather than admit to it. So, project manager must be able to sense when things are being swept under the rug and are not progressing properly. So, technical sensitivity, if there is anybody is hiding any mistakes or error, so the project manager should be able to identify where their problem is. Next, we will discuss about leadership, ethics, management styles. These are the other attributes of a project manager. So, what is the definition of leadership? A process of social influence which maximizes the effect of others towards the achievement of goal. Next, we will discuss about ethics. After that, we will discuss about management style. First, we will discuss about leadership qualities of a project manager. A research which was conducted by PMI Institute, Project Management Institute on Leadership Research. So, the outcome of the survey is like this. So, 6 skills identified for a project manager to become a leader. So, 29% of the respondents thought that the communication is the important skill. 26% thought the people management is the important skill. 16% admitted that the achieving strategic objectives is the important skill. Then 12% of the respondent admitted that a requirements gathering is the another skill. Again 12% of the people thought that the leadership is the important skill, and 5% of the respondent admitted that the time management is the important skill. So, as per this research, so the topmost priority for the skill of a project manager is communication skill. So, communication is very important for a project manager. Next, we will discuss about leadership competencies. So, 3 aspects of leadership and 15 leadership competencies we are going to discuss about. The first area of competence is the intelligent quotient, IQ. So, what are the competency for this IQ? Critical analysis and judgment, vision and imagination. Third one is strategic objective. The second level of competence is managerial quotient. Then what are the competencies here? Engaging communication, managing resources, empowering, developing and achieving. The third area of competence is emotional quotient. So, the competency is the self awareness, emotional intelligence, emotional resilience, motivation, sensitivity, influence, intuitiveness, conscientiousness. So, these are the 15 competencies which are required for a leader. Next, we will discuss about some of the ethical issues for a project manager. These are the some unethical practices, that is the wired bids and contracts. This is unethical practice in the business or in the project. Then buy-in, kickbacks, covering for the team members, taking shortcuts, using marginal materials, compromising on safety, violating standards, consultant loyalties. These are the some of the unethical practices that should not be adopted by a project manager. Next, we will discuss about the management style. Shenhar classifies project across 2 dimensions and concludes that the management style should be adapted to certain differences in the type of project. So, the Shenhar says about what type of management style should be adopted for a project. So, he has given 2 dimensions. First dimension is the level of technological uncertainty. The second dimension is the level of system complexity. As the uncertainty increases from low tech to high tech, so the appropriate management style progress from firm, rigid and formal to highly flexible. In the sense, if the project is high tech projects, we should go for highly flexible management style. If the project is low tech projects, then we can go for firm, rigid and formal management style. With respect to another dimension, that is, as the system complexity increases from simple to highly complex, the style, that is the management style, progresses from in-house informal to remote and highly formal. In the sense, if the nature of the project is less complex, then we can go for in-house informal management style. If the project is highly complex, then we should go for remote and highly formal management styles. Next, we will discuss about how to handle stress. So, the life of a project manager is rarely serene. So, he has to come across so many problems. So, the project manager is surrounded by a conflict, often caught in an irrational management structure and trapped in a highly stress occupation. There are ways to deal with this excessive stress. It is best if the organization is attuned to the problem and monitors their project managers and their employees for the work overload. It is the responsibility of organization that whether the project manager or the team members are highly loaded, due to which they are highly stressed or not. Now, we will discuss about what are the causes of stress. The first important cause for the stress is no consistent procedures. Whenever there is an inconsistent procedures, that leads to stress, and too much to do. When the project manager or team members are highly loaded, then that leads to stress. Then having a high need to achieve without having any pragmatic approach, only to have the high need to achieve, that may lead to stress. Then the another reason for stress is whenever an organization is in change. Suppose one organization is acquired by another organization, then employees in the new organization may be in full of stress. So, these are some of the causes of the stress. So, how to identify the sign of excessive stress in workplace? The first sign is inability to switch off work issues, that is carrying the problems to the home and not able to switch off. The next sign is disturbed sleep. The third one is lack of pleasure in non-work related leisure activities and difficulty in concentrating or making decisions and tendency to anger quickly and lack of energy. These are some of the signs, symptoms of excessive stress. Now, we will discuss about several ways to control stress. Keep a notebook or journal, taking time to reflect on the events of the day. Note down what are the activities that has to be done. The second suggestion is prioritize all the tasks facing you, eliminating tasks that do not need to be done, or transferring or delegating what you can, and delaying low priority items or jobs, minimizing the scope of any subtask that is not crucial to your overall task. So, these are some of the ways we can control the stress. And the physical activity of a project manager is more important. Many times he is doing meditation, yoga. This will help the project managers to reduce the stress. Give yourself to time to unwind from high stress meeting, perhaps by taking a short walk or doing 15 minutes of exercise or meditation. Engage in after work physical activities that take your mind off the task. So, these are the ways we can use to get out of the stress or control the stress. Now, we will continue that other ways, some of the more ways to control the stress. So, improve your physical surroundings to be pleasant, enjoyable uncomfortable, helping you to relax. Become aware of the control you do or do not have the over events. The things which are not in your control, you need not involve on that. Do not develop anxiety about things over which you have no control. In this lecture, I have discussed about attributes of effective project managers. Some of the attributes are credibility, sensitivity, leadership, ethics and management styles. Also discussed about sources of stress, how to manage or control the stress, that I have explained in this lecture. Thank you.